Hello everyone, and welcome to my new Minecraft architecture video. Today we're tackling Belgium, and more specifically the guild houses of Antwerp and Mechelen. So the thing about the guild houses, right? This is one of the more important houses in Antwerp and Mechelen because the guilds were, well, kind of a big pinnacle of society back in the 1500s. So let's first talk about why the building looks like this, and then we're gonna continue on the how to. Yeah, so the style you're looking at here is from the 1500s, more likely. And back then there was this style called the Renaissance, and the Renaissance is a very big thing in Italy. It always has been. There are a lot of beautiful houses in Italy, even Renaissance. But later on the century, it also flew more towards the west, like Poland, I think the Netherlands as well, and also Belgium. And since it's so late, there was this Italian guy, and he also designed the City Hall of Antwerp, which looks kind of like these kind of buildings, in a style that's sometimes called the Flemish Italian Renaissance style. It's basically just Renaissance combined with late Gothic buildings, then with larger windows and more florid decorations. But that's the style, everything I found about the style and why it is what it is. Now let's talk about the type of building. So the type of building is a guild house, and guild houses are, as I said before, they're a big pinnacle of society. You get a lot of people have a lot of influence on the governmental areas and for economic parts as well. So, if your guild was successful, what would you do to let people know that you were successful? Well, you build grand houses. And normally they put like a big statue on top, like a golden statue of like those. This is the guild that we are, so you got the leather workers, you have like, I don't know, they got a statue of a leather worker on top. Yeah, it's showing off, you know. It's like the equivalent of us buying a Rolex or a Lamborghini. It's like, hey, look how rich I am. That'd be like the same thing. How to is, well, it's not that difficult. I started with this abomination down here. So what I did over here is just a little placeholder of where to build the pillars, where to build the windows, and the size of the building. So it's like equally divided. So for example, I use 3 blocks here, as you can see, with 3 pillars over there. The one on the left is just for the side area. It's basically the same thing. It's a good placeholder saying, okay, I need to build my pillars over here. And then the 5 for the window, as you can see, it's 5 blocks for the windows. And you just do it over and over again. I did it 3 times, because obviously you can do it twice, or 4 times, or 5 times, whatever you want. Then, for the base, I used andesite, but obviously you can do whatever you want. White concrete, same thing for reference, andesite again, and bricks. But the guild houses have all kinds of different materials, so if you want to work with sandstone or mud bricks or whatever you want, it all looks great, to be honest. I just found bricks looking the best at this point. I used anvil here for the more decoration part, and also used it as a lantern. Then the windows are again very ugly diorite. But you know, we don't have any other white blocks, and the reference I was using is using white blocks. But if you want to use wooden, like what else do we have? Got, well, I guess sandstone you could use. Got endstone you can use. Any wall you can use actually. It's just the one that complements your build more is probably the better choice. I use white choker boxes for the more florid decoration. Well, it looks kind of bland if you just keep using white concrete or diorite for decorations. You gotta switch some things up with different kind of colored blocks, well, the same type colored blocks. Now for the windows, it's diorite, as I said before, with glass, and I use the debug stick to keep these open. As you can see, using the debug stick right now, you can open and close them. And if you open them or close, I don't know what it is, this close probably, yeah. If you close them, it kind of looks like a window pane as well, with like more the closed off window panes. So on the side there's not much going on, and the reason for that is very obvious. these kind of houses are normally in line with each other. So if you want to have an entire city of those, with these kind of houses side by side with each other, so there's no point in having a great site. That's like wasted materials for them. They only want to have the front to be nicely decorated, because people walking on the street only look at the front. So that means that your side and your back is very easy to make. So I decorated just a little bit, but to be honest, it really doesn't matter, as nobody's looking at that, right? But for this build, I also built a side, but this time I didn't go for the 3 windows, but the 2 windows. And this could be your housing if you, for example, build it on a corner. Other than that, in the modern day buildings, the bottom floor of these type of buildings are mostly shops. So for this building, I decided to get a clothing shop going. And I tried some different things out with clothing lines and see how to do it. So for example, this thing is using a invisible armor stand. If you can go in spectator mode, you see all these armor stands. The way to do that is quite easy. You just give yourself an armor stand with entity tag invisible 1B. So I did the same thing here. If you want to place the lever, it's quite easy, to be honest. First thing you want to do, you need commands. You gotta have commands, or else it doesn't work. So you gotta play the block, then you can just do fill the area you want, and then say I want a lever. Brackets, say I want it to facing on the floor, as you want it on the floor. And then you want to say where you want it to face. So this example, I think it's east. There we go, it's on the east. If it's on the west, then it doesn't matter, you can just flip it around, right? What you want to do then is take some chains. Take some chains and put them all down. Just take a piston. Take a button. And since the chain is not, well, since armor stands are fine with non-solid blocks going through them, you can just push them through, and the armor stands won't react. And there you go, there you have your clothing line with your armor stances. And if they're invisible, it looks like the clothing are hanging from the lines, and it looks like a shop, you know. Here it's, well, a bit of the same thing, but then I used a circular path. Just use 4 horizontal chains like this, and use armor stands more in a circle. So for example, you place one over here, then you do just a nice little circle like this, and then you do the fence in the middle, the chains, and just push them down the same way we did over there. It's easy as that. This one is a little bit more work, because these are also all armor stands, obviously. But since they're so close up to each other, it's kind of annoying to place your stuff. So what you want to do is place these down, and then you put your shoes on it. And then before you put down these trapdoors, because you want them more to the bottom. Before you do that, make sure to put your armor stands on top of these. I'm gonna explain you why in just a second. So if you push these down, you're gonna want to put these down twice or one, depends how much room you want to have between your shoes. Alright, so it's very, you can't really do this, for example. You can't place your arm stands on top of this, so you're kind of screwed right now. That's why I put my arm stands on top first. If you break these down, they're just gonna fall down. Can you put your boots on that? Click the bottom, the top part. If you click the bottom part, you'll actually equip shoes on the bottom one, if I remember correctly. Yeah, see, so you equip this. Alright, other than that, there's not really much interesting going on around here. There's cash registry over here. There's arrows to tell people how they gotta walk in the line. These are exactly the same thing as the other ones. You can just push the slabs down and you have a nice, well, helmet display going on. It's not that hard. Good. So that's the shop. Next up, we got a housing area up there. And I use chains and trapdoors to have this more metal-like staircase going on. So yeah, like it works just as stairs. It looks a little bit clunky, but it works the same as stairs. There you go. Then you got more of a that's more of a hangar style interior design. So you got that big open place with a big kitchen. The bedroom, basically everything you wanted in the same area. So it's just one big living space. You got a painting here with the brush and the paint on the floor. You got a nice little corner with your television and your reading corner. You got your kitties with your scratching post. This trick over here is pretty easy to do as well. You basically just summon a chicken or a goat or whatever you want. Give it no AI and make it silent, and then use a leech on it. It's over here, you see. So you use a leech on it, and wait, this thing has no AI yet it lays an egg. What is wrong with you? Either way, it's silent, right? Silent, yeah. Then up here, there's nothing special going on. I just thought this looks pretty nice. You could look outside the window here, look at the view, which we don't have because there's a mountain right over there. But that's pretty much it. Yeah. Whoa, that was something, wasn't it? It was Really difficult to find what works. And I'm not sure if I'm entirely happy about this build. The thing is, most of these guild houses are pretty big, right? They're huge like these, so it was quite challenging to kind of try to make it work for a smaller house. I know this is not that survivor friendly. It's quite big, so for your first housing, it might not be the style you want to go for. However, I'm trying to use blocks that aren't that hard to get. Mud blocks are pretty tedious to get, but it's just dirt and a bottle of water and then wheat, if I remember correctly. Smooth sandstone is just sand and then you cook it and cook it, so it's not that terrible hard to get. Then oak wood and spruce wood. Struggling a lot with my materials choices. I tried to do something different. I tried to do a darker color like with the mud bricks. It kind of works, but yeah. So yeah, I don't hate it. I think it's fine. But if I had to choose between these two, I obviously gonna go for that one. But it's not bad. Well, you guys enjoyed my pain and suffering to try and get this built right. Then make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you have any suggestions on what style I need to tackle next, and if you want to see me struggle even more, then leave a comment and I'll see what I can do. Bye.